Hey gold diggers, what's going on, my boss babes? Kimberly Olson here, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about time blocking. How do you actually crush it when it comes to your time blocking? How do you get more done? How do you 10x your productivity and really ditch the overwhelm? Because this time of year can be such a challenge for people that I knew I had to go over this training with you guys because I've done this training before, and it's been so helpful for people to just go, oh, okay, that's how I get a grip. So if you're feeling a little bit all over the place, feeling a little frazzled, feeling like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get it all done? How am I gonna run my business, take care of my family, deal with kiddos home, deal with travel, deal with the holidays, and still crush it, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I would love to know who feels like they're all over the place. Like, what's one word to describe how you feel right now mentally? Is it exhausted, overwhelmed, disorganized? Do you feel like you just don't have a grip, right? Like this is a safe place to share how you're really feeling. So drop that in the comments. I would love to know how you guys are feeling. Okay. So if you feel like you are all over the place, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like, how am I going to get this all done? I'm here to tell you that there is a better way. I'm here to tell you that you can become so efficient in what you do in your business that you don't have to work all the time. Or if you're working a full-time job and you're like, how am I going to ever find time to work my business? You can make it happen, because I'm living proof of someone who is working full-time, commuting, had little kids at home, and I still was able to get it done because I understand time blocking and I mastered it. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't awesome at it at first. It took me some time to get it down. So I'm going to save the heartache and I'm going to allow you to fast track your results. Okay. All right. So here we go. So the top, what we're going to talk about is how to time block in 5 simple steps. Okay, so that way you can really crush it like a boss. All right. So if you're excited, let me know in the comments that you're like, yes, bring it on. I want to know how to time block. Okay. All right. So number one, this is the process you need to go through to master your time blocking. Okay. Number one is you need to write down in, maybe a goal digger journal of some sort. Maybe you can grab the goal digger journal and write it in here. But what I want you to do is I want you to take some time and I want you to write down the areas of priority in your life. Okay. I want you to write down the areas of priority in your life. So it could be family, food, fitness, finances, it could be your work, faith. What are the different areas of your life that are the priorities that you need to make sure you are taking care of, that you are paying attention to? What are those different areas of priority for you? Okay. So number one is you need to write down what are the priorities in your life. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we are spending time in all of those areas, because it's so easy just to get caught up in work and all you're doing is work. Or maybe you are spending too much time, I don't really think any of these, but maybe too much time with your family, like always with your family. You're always busy. You're always doing stuff with your girlfriends and friends and, church, and you're not spending any time on your work, right? So we have to make sure we're doing all the things. Okay. So number one is write down your areas of priority. And I want you to say to yourself, okay, what's the most important thing for me? What are the most important areas of my life? Number two is I want you to write down your top 5 goals. We do have a goal setting training coming up. I believe it's not a week from today. And I have a worksheet that you can fill out to plan out your goals. So that's coming. But you're going to write down, what are your top 5 goals? We don't want to have 25 goals. Warren Buffett talks about this. You cannot have more than 5 goals at a time. Okay. And he's pretty successful. So master goal setter. So what are the 5 goals that you're going to go after? It's best to go after goals that excite you, that are relevant, that are timely. I mean, maybe your goal is to retire and travel the world and buy a house on the beach, but you're 25. Like, maybe that's not the goal we're going to focus on right now. So think of some goals that would get you excited, that makes sense for you right now. Okay. So number 2 is to pick 5 goals. Number 3 is you are going to decide what your rocks are. Okay. So what do I mean by this? There's a story of a professor who he had a big glass jar in front of the class, and he said, okay, here's all the things that we need to get in the jar. Okay. We need to put these rocks in here. We need to put these pebbles in here, some little tiny stones, and then sand, okay? So he said, we got to fit all of this in here. So what should we put in first? And of course they said the sand, put the sand in the bottom, put the sand in. What's next? The little pebbles, the tiny ones, put those in those little stones. Then the class said, all right, the bigger pebbles. So they put the pebbles in, and then the class said, okay, let's get the rocks in there last, right? Well, they wouldn't fit. The rocks wouldn't fit. They were above the top of the glass jar. And the professor said, you have to put the big rocks in first, so all the little things can fit around the big rocks. So they reversed it. They put the big rocks in first, then they put the little bigger pebbles in, or little bigger, the bigger, smaller than the rocks, but the little stones, put those in, little tiny pebbles, and then the sand filled everything in, and it all fit. Same thing in your life. What we do is there's stuff that's urgent, there's stuff that keeps us busy, and there's stuff that's important and not important. What we tend to do is spend the majority of our time on things that are urgent, like text messages, emails, Facebook notifications, and Instagram messages, urgent. And we also tend to spend a lot of time on things that are not important. Those two things are time vampires. What we want to do is we want to spend more time with things that are not urgent and are important. That's the big rocks, the not urgent and the important things. And those are the things we always push to the back burner. How many of you have a dream in your heart to speak on stage, write a book, start a nonprofit, go maybe volunteer at Sunday school, organize your house, clean out one of your bedrooms, clean out your closet, maybe take a trip with your family somewhere? It's a little hard to do right now, but maybe there's somewhere somewhat close to your home that you could go take your family to. It's not urgent. It's not urgent. So what happens? We push it off, we push it off, we push it off. It's that stuff is where the magic is, guys. That's where the sweet spot is. The things in your life that are not urgent but are important, those are the big rocks. Those are the things that need to take your attention and are your priority, okay? So what I want you to figure out, number 3, is I want you to figure out what are the big rocks in your life that need your attention, that need your focus, need your TLC, and I want those to show up on your calendar first, okay? So if you don't have that yet, you need to grab a planner. What I want you to do, or you can use something digital. I use Google Calendar as well. I like to take the pen and paper planner, and I just like the at a glance, and I don't know, it's just creative for me. I like to do pen and paper, and I still use planners every day for my to-do list. So, or like my big objectives for the week, I like pen to paper. It's just my way. So depending on what works for you. But what I want you to do is I want you to get out that planner or Google Calendar, or it's whatever cozy, whatever planner you're using. And I want you to write down the big rocks, and I want you to schedule time out. Okay. So what does that look like? Church. You know, during this time, a lot of people have stopped going to church. If your church is open, I want to ask, you know, of course, if you have health issues and you have to be careful, but why are you not going to church if that's one of your priorities? It's one of your big rocks. Remember, not urgent, but important. Those are the big rocks. Okay. There's probably some things in your life that haven't been showing up on your calendar that need to. Exercise, meal planning, your health, right? Big rock. Spending time with your kids, big rock. So I want you to look at your calendar, maybe look at last week, and I want you to challenge yourself and say, what did I do? How many of you have ever had a whole day go by and you're like, I feel like I worked all day. I was at my desk all day. And then, you know, your spouse is like, how was your day? And you're like, busy. And they're like, what'd you do? You're like, I don't know. Right? You're like, I literally don't know what I did. That's because we just get busy. We get into that urgent, busy mode, emails, notifications, all the things, people texting us, Facebook groups, all that stuff, right? That we love. But we have to make sure we're making time for the priorities in our life, those big rocks, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to pull up your planner, and I want you to come up with your ideal week. So church on Sundays, maybe you go to the gym or go for a run every Saturday, and you also do yoga on Fridays, and you do some fitness, free weight workout, a HIIT workout on Tuesdays. Okay. And then Sunday fun day. Every Sunday afternoon, you're going to meal prep for the week. You're going to go to the grocery store, do grocery delivery, curbside pickup, and meal prep for the week. Okay. Maybe it's going to be, all right, every Thursday night, you do something with your girlfriends. That's really important that you get some girl time. Or maybe it's Friday night family night, and you guys do game night. Maybe you kind of let that slip. Everybody got busy, right? Plan out that ideal week. What does that look like? Put in your money making activities on there, which I'll help you guys a lot with in the planning session. But is there time on your schedule to create content, go live, nurture your Facebook group, connect with people, follow up with people, close more sales? Is it on your calendar? If you work, busy people get more done. So it's just all about the time blocking, 100%, okay? So I want you to put all your rocks on there, all that important stuff. Number 4 is I want you to learn to time block, okay? I want you to learn to time block. Time blocking is not easy. Time blocking is not just something we're made, it's just natural for us. How many of you are kind of more on the ADD side where you get distracted pretty easy? So that's definitely me. Entrepreneurs tend to be very, we're creative, so we're here and we're there. And social media, I mean, the whole nature of social media is like bing, 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 right? There's research on it. I mean, it's definitely designed to like grab our attention and pull us from different things. So if you feel like you're all over the place, learning to time block is going to be a discipline you're going to have to develop, okay? It's a muscle. You're going to have to flex it. So learning to time block is where you schedule everything. I even schedule unstructured time. I know. It's weird. So on my schedule from about 3:30 until 9:30 is family time. So my team knows, probably not going to hear from me. My students know, probably not going to hear from me. If you've hung out with me at all, if you notice, I don't usually message people during that time. It's usually at night, pretty late. How many of you have gotten like a midnight message from me and you're like, whoa, does that girl ever sleep? Yes, I do sleep. I sleep 8 hours every night. But that just works for the ebb and flow of my days to work late at night, and then I sleep in, because it's my life. So, and then, it's just how I roll. But it works because I'm able to say at this time, from midnight till 1, or I usually will do it like 10 to 11. That's my my hour to time block and get all my messenger cleared out. What would that feel like where you weren't on your phone all the time and you knew you had an hour designated to get all your messages done? I am all about relationships and connections and mentoring people. That's where I need to be spending my time. That might not be where you are, right? You might be on TikTok. Like, I don't know what your flow is. You know what it is, but you're going to know where you need to spend your time. Time block everything. Time block time with your family. Time to work on your business. Maybe there's something every week where you're like, I keep forgetting to do this. Put it on your schedule. So what I do for the things that, for example, I have to get every week, we have to set up ManyChat with new things each week that we automatically send you guys when you watch my lives on my business page. Every week there's a new one. I have to send an email to myself that I set up the StreamYards on Sunday. I get the ManyChat information updated once a month. I have to plan out all of my content. So a couple nights ago, I spent an hour and planned out all of my content for the Gold Diggers of Gold Digger University, my business page, both my Facebook groups, and then YouTube podcasts and things like that. All planned out. I have an email reminder that comes. So I schedule it where I get an email to remind me. For those weekly things that I tend to forget, everything is time blocked, okay? And that might seem a little bit restrictive, like, oh, I'm not like that. I'm a free spirit. Well, if the free spirit's working for you and your life is how you want it and your business is how you want it, then go for it, girlfriend. If it's not, I'm going to encourage you to get a grip on your calendar, because when you structure the unstructured time, it gives you the freedom to be free. You don't have that guilty feeling the whole time. You know what I'm talking about. You're like with your kids, but you're thinking about your business, or you're doing your business and you're like, oh, I really should be with my family right now. That goes away because oh, tonight I'm going to be working on my business. Let me be with my family right now, and vice versa. Okay. Learn to time block. Plan it out and then stick to it. And that's the part that comes into the discipline. Grab my book, The Art of Self-Discipline, because there's all kinds of skills in there to help you develop it, because it is an art, okay? Discipline is an art. It's something we develop over time. Number 5 is shift hats. You have to learn how to shift hats, okay? So what does this mean? Shifting hats is where you are able to pivot at a moment's notice into a different role. So as an online marketer, sometimes we are talking to a potential customer. Sometimes we're talking to someone on our team. We might be in the middle of something with our business and our husband walks in to our office and says, hey, I have a question, like Elise, she has something at her school. I'm like getting ready for my trainings. And then he's like, hey, this thing came up, and then I had to stop, switch hats, and think about my schedule, being there for Elise, moving some stuff around so I can be there for her little song. And I'm mom for a second, right? switching hats. So when your kids get home from school, switch hats, put your mom hat on, okay? If you are talking to a potential business builder, it's your posture hat. You're crushing it. You're rocking it. You are a great leader. They should be lucky to work with you, and you are going to set them up for success. It's a different hat, okay? So I like to pretend I'm flipping hats and switching hats that way. That works for me. You obviously have to find your thing that works for you, but it's the pivot. It's the 110% attention. Right now, I'm not looking at my phone, although the text messages are rolling in. I don't have Messenger pulled up where I can see the messages rolling in, or my email. I'm with you right now 110%. How many times are you doing this while you're talking to your kids? Yep, okay, yep. Just 1 minute, honey, 1 minute. Or they're kind of talking to you and you're like, yep, okay, and you're trying to text. Who's ever done that before? It's the worst thing you could ever do. You're trying to text or send a message back when someone's talking to you. It's physically impossible. Did you guys know that? You cannot do two things at one time. We think multitasking is like this amazing thing, right? No. It's the people who can pivot quickly and switch tasks, multiple tasks quickly. So here's the task right now, then there's the task right there, then there's the task right there. It's not this task, and this task all at once. It's a myth. It's this false thing that we're trying to strive for. Let's just let that ish go, y'all. Let's just be normal people who are going to give our best and give 110% to the task at hand. Okay. And that's why if you watch like the way a guy operates, it's very different than a woman traditionally, because men tend to be more linear thinkers. They will do one thing at a time and they get it done. Like my husband, he has a to-do list. I'm so lucky I don't have to give him like a honey to-do list. He's probably like, can you maybe like clean up your stuff more? Because he's way more like all together than I am. And he will write a list for himself on the weekends. He just knocks it out. I'm like in awe of him. He'll be like, oh, okay, I got to clean the pool, check. Okay, got to do this. And it's all done. Like by like Saturday afternoon, his whole weekend list is done because he just looks at the one, he goes and does it. Looks at the one, or if I'm like, hey, this light bulb or whatever, if I say anything to him, if he's not in the middle of something, he will literally stop say he's watching football. He'll stop what he's doing. He'll go change the light bulb and then watch football. Like it's done. It's not like lingering. So he's just not a procrastinator, which is really cool. I'm envious of him and his skills, but it's nice to be married to him. So I can see it in real time. Like it's different. Women, we're like, oh, we're so good. Like we're on the phone, we're doing laundry. We're giving ourselves a manicure. Oh no. You watch and focus. You feel depleted. You feel just frazzled. You feel all over the place. What you want to do is you want to get your focus on, okay? You want to time block. You want to focus and you want to be all in with the thing that you're doing, okay? Watching this, are you doing something else right now? Put guilty below. I want to know. Moment of truth. Put guilty below. You won't hurt my feelings. Put guilty. We're watching Facebook Live and we're also, sewing a sweater. So we want to be all in. So if you're all in with this, you need to say, okay, what can I implement from this training? What can I take away? You don't want to just be like, oh, cool, I watched another training, check. No. You want to be like, oh, okay, she said to time block. What do I need to do? How would it feel to go into the new year with the whole year mapped out? Would that change things for you if you don't have today mapped out? Like it will shift everything for you, because what it does is it allows you to say, I'm taking this seriously. It allows you to say, what are the important things, for myself and my family, my business? Is there vacations on your schedule, guys? Like we can't work all the time and expect that to be sustainable. Is there time each week taking care of the rocks, the priorities, the key result areas, the things that are important to you? Remember, the non-urgent stuff is the important stuff. Typically, that's the things that need our attention. So if we can plan it out ahead of time, then we can go into it knowing all the stuff is taken care of. And that way it's not an afterthought or the thing that gets pushed to the back because our messenger's blowing up and that's getting our attention. We have to remember to slow down to be able to speed up. And this is a huge, huge piece of that, okay? All right, so thanks again for being on. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go create some content. Are you surprised? Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, get lit in your business and set your soul on fire. We'll see you later.